it's really hard to press a team like Arsenal with 11 players. Imagine with 10 players, and then if you are in disadvantage, it's really hard because they can control the ball. They already control the ball in a lot of moments, so it was vital to win the game, of course, to draw the game.
Ruben, apologies for asking this after such a pleasing performance, but Marcus Rashford obviously wasn't part of the squad today. Is it likely he's played his last game for Manchester United?
I don't know. We'll see.
Bring you this. AC Milan are expected to formally approach Manchester United over the signing of forward Marcus Rashford.
We'll get back to Ruben and we'll get back to the transfer news in just a quick second. But remember, if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. And also don't forget to click the notification button so you know when the next Big D video hits. And if you've got something to say, if there's something on your mind, if you think we've missed something, please put it in the comments. Even if you think I'm talking rubbish, put it in the comments, but just tell me why. I read all of the comments. Anyway, we're going to be talking about the amazing result against Arsenal in just a quick second. And we're also going to be talking about Marcus Rashford and this potential move to AC Milan. But anyway, here's Ruben and here's the transfer news.
Let's bring you this. AC Milan are expected to formally approach Manchester United over the signing of forward Marcus Rashford. Milan advisor and Rashford's former teammate Zlatan Ibrahimovic has spoken publicly about wanting to speak to Rashford about a move. Rashford's camp have spoken to a number of European clubs to explore the conditions of a deal. As it stands, it's believed United's preference remains a straight loan if they are to allow him to leave. Rashford was once again left out of the matchday squad for Sunday's FA Cup third-round tie at Arsenal. Head coach Ruben Amorim saying, "I don't know, we will see," when asked if Rashford had played his final game for the club. While United accept they will have to pay a substantial portion of Rashford's wages, they will look into incentivising the structure to ensure the deal works for them.
Like I said, with the ball, we had some difficulties. I think players like Garnacho want to play open, playing inside. They need to suffer. I can put him open, but then I will have to change the idea, and then it will take more time. I think it's also good for a player with the quality, for example, like Garnacho and Ahmad. If they are able to play inside and outside, they will be so much more complete. So I think the idea it still needs a lot of time, but that in that part of the spirit to suffer, to understanding the game, to make some pauses on the game, I think we are improving.
Yeah, we spoke about Martin before the game. Obviously had a key role to play today as well. How vital was the penalty miss for United today?
Was really important because give us more strength, and then with less one players it's really hard to press. It's really hard to press a team like Arsenal with 11 players. Imagine with 10 players, and then if you are in disadvantage, it's really hard because they can control the ball. They already control the ball in a lot of moments, so it was vital to win the game, of course, to draw the game.
He obviously became the hero. He's had some stick. What did you make of the moment when he scored a goal, and how vital was it for him to get that?
Yeah, it's really important, not just for them, but for all the players. Your life as a footballer has cycles and moments, and sometimes in 1 week your life can change. And you can see Altay against Tottenham. Everybody was pointing the finger for Altay, and I understand that. And today he was our hero also. Joshua a few weeks ago had a small problem with our fans, and today every time he's going on the pitch you feel that the support from the fans, and then he has the last penalty. So the life is like that, and you have to continue humble, to work every day. Your time will come, and so it's really important for them, not just for them, but for his teammates.
Ruben, I was going to say, obviously, given Joshua Zirkzee the fifth penalty, did you worry about the consequences of him not scoring? Obviously, considering how much pressure he's been under, obviously that's a big moment for him to stall that. But were you worried about actually the consequences of it going the other way?
I was not, because I had the feeling that we are going to win, but that part is not my part. The set pieces is not my part, and today we were amazing in set pieces. So Carlos was really good. Andres was really good, Emmanuel was really good, and they chose the right players to score the penalty. So was not it's not my part, it was them. They did a very good job.
Last question.
Ruben, apologies for asking this after such a pleasing performance, but Marcus Rashford obviously wasn't part of the squad today. Is it likely that he's played his last game for Manchester United?
I don't know. We'll see. He's a player for Manchester United. We'll see. He have to work. He have to represent his club, and he loves his club. But I have to make choices. Already spoke about how I make the choices. So it is what it is. So let's continue. Let's see the next game. And like I said, I have to make a selection.
Well, the match yesterday was absolutely fantastic. What I really liked about it was the penny is starting to drop with these players. I've been saying time and time again, we just need them to put the effort in. If they put the effort in, the tactics will work. You can have the most astute tactics by Rinus Michels, by Carlo Ancelotti, by Alex Ferguson, Pep Guardiola, whoever. But unless the players put the effort in, those tactics are just not going to work. But the players are starting to realise. And it was really good. Every single player played really, really well. And the goalkeeper was absolutely amazing. It reminded me a lot of David De Gea. Those reaction saves and the penalty save. And, that save from the header from close quarters. How he got to that. Wow. He played really well. And, Onana's form hasn't been great, to be fair, so hopefully that performance by Inder has given him something to think about, because there's just too many silly mistakes with Onana. He does seem like a really nice guy, but his problem is he's not as good as David De Gea, and he's just a bit, calamitous a little bit. But every now and then he has a really good game, but hey-ho, we'll see. But the team, absolutely fantastic. De Ligt was amazing. He was an absolute colossus at the back. Martinez was good, fine. Mazraoui, flawless as usual. He's starting to remind me of Dennis Irwin a little bit, is Mazraoui. I'm not necessarily saying that he's as good as Dennis Irwin was, but Dennis Irwin was incredibly consistent. And he was very good technically as well. And Mazraoui is very, very consistent. And he's definitely going to be the bargain buy of the season. And, he's very good technically too. Ugarte, wow, that guy is just absolutely smashing it at the moment. He gets better every single game. He fights for everything. He's very much a South American player in that he's got that little nasty quality. I call him the Hammer. That's his nickname from now on, the Hammer in midfield, because he went through everything. Brilliant. Kobe Mainoo, playing well, starting to find his feet again. I hope this isn't a Marcus Rashford situation where he's only going to play well until he gets his big fancy contract. I really hope it doesn't turn into that. I don't think it will. But, you never know with this situation at Manchester United. Diogo Dalot, I thought he was very unlucky with his second yellow card. I think it was a foul, but to give him a second yellow and send him off, I thought that was a bit overkill, to be honest. And that's the issue with VAR. If VAR was in play, what's the point in him having VAR and not using it? It's not as if the FA can't afford it. Good grief. But, if VAR was employed yesterday, then, well, they wouldn't have had a penalty because that was a blatant dive by Kai Havertz. The start of Swan Lake would be proud of that one. But Bruno Fernandes scored an amazing goal, and, he's just putting in captain's performance after captain's performance for 2 weeks in a row, at the very least. And Rasmus Højlund and Garnacho, they did fine. Absolutely fine. My only concern is with Manchester United is that's 2 big games in a row. And I've said before, it's very easy to motivate yourself for a big game. Because the adrenaline, the excitement, the fear of failure, and the fact that you're going to the opposition team are going to make it work. It just adds an extra element of fear and a little bit of an edge, which is easy to use to motivate yourself to play well, because if you don't play well, you'll get absolutely battered. So it's whether or not they can maintain this effort and this intensity against the smaller clubs, and that's where they will pick up their points. But yeah, I was really, really, really impressed with the game yesterday. We are crying out for a left back. I mean, Dalla is not a left back. I mean, obviously he can play there and he can do a very good job there, but he needs to be fighting it out with Mazraoui at right wing back, and we need to get a left wing back in this month. It's just a priority. Let's get this Rashford thing sorted out, and then hopefully that frees up some cash per week, hopefully. Wages wise at the very least, and then we can move forward on that front. And speaking of the man of the moment, Marcus Rashford. Well, I mean, he's the viral man of the hour at the moment, and AC Milan are coming in with a loan bid for Marcus, and it's spearheaded by Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He's played with Marcus, and they played, really well together. And Marcus reminds me a little bit of players like Lingard, Pogba, and those guys. I put them all kind of in the same bracket in that they weren't really as nasty as they could have been. And when Zlatan was first at United, Rashford played quite well, and Pogba played quite well, and Jesse Lingard played quite well when people like Zlatan and Rooney and Carrick were still in the dressing room, because they could keep tabs on them, they could keep on top of them, make sure that they were doing the work properly and they had the required intensity, and they could lead by example. As soon as those kinds of players left and no one was fighting for a contract, shall we say, then they just kind of lost that little bit of bite. But anyway, AC Milan are coming in, and I'm just looking at the AC Milan starting 11, and it was their last starting 11 against Cagliari, where they drew 1-1 at home on Saturday. And I can't see Marcus getting in that team. I mean, their two wingers are Christian Pulisic, the guy that used to be at Chelsea, American right winger, who he's a very tricky winger, and he's quite a good player, to be honest. And they've got Rafael Leao on the left, and Rafael Leao is one of the best wingers in the world, and he's more skillful than Marcus, more productive. Pulisic is more skillful, but Marcus doesn't play on the right. But Rafael Leao is an inside forward from the left, and that's where Marcus plays. So he's going to AC Milan to duke it out with Rafael Leao. Now, I don't know, maybe it's something that AC Milan are trying to do, in the sense that they want to bring in Marcus to give Leao a kick in the backside, perhaps. Maybe there's something like that going on. Because I can't understand why they're bringing in Marcus Rashford, even if it's on loan, and even if they paid 100 grand a week. That's still 100 grand a week for someone to sit on the bench. It doesn't make sense. Now, the only other position that Marcus could play is as a number 9, but they've got Alvaro Morata. He needs a completely different profile to Marcus Rashford. Morata is very much like a target man. So, hypothetically, you would lump the ball up to him, he would hold it up, and he'd play in people like Pulisic and Rafael Leao, but that's not Marcus's game. His game doesn't have the physicality that's required for that role. It's very much a Rasmus Højlund role, so to speak. So I imagine that, they'd play the ball to Morata and he'd tee up or lay it off, or slide Pulisic or Rafael Leao through. So I'm not sure what's going on there, unless they change formation, perhaps, and play with a 3 up front. But even then, they could even maybe put Rafael Leao on the right and put Marcus on the left. Because is Marcus better than Pulisic? I don't know. Not on the past 18 months form, anyway. So I can't understand that. I mean, I've said this time and time again. And, well, actually, before I move on, they've got Tammy Abraham as well, who's a Premier League proven goal scorer as well. Used to play at Chelsea. I mean, he's duking it out with Morata for the number 9 position. And who else have they got in their team? Yeah, I can't really say that their squad is great. So maybe they're just getting Marcus in to bolster up the squad. But is he going to like that? Is he going to go to AC Milan and have to fight for his place? He's not fighting for his place at Manchester United. So why would he go to AC Milan, who are, well, at the moment anyway, a smaller club? Not historically, of course. AC Milan are a massive club historically. But Serie A is not the Serie A of, the 90s or the early noughties, and AC Milan are certainly not the team of that time period as well. They are a much weaker side. So why would he go there to fight for his place in the team? It just doesn't quite make sense. I've said this before. Borussia Dortmund is the team that he should be going to, because they have just sold one of their attackers to Aston Villa. So that frees up some space for them to fill. And Marcus Rashford, here we go. So here's Dortmund. Just getting up Dortmund's starting 11, where they got beat by Leverkusen 3-2. And their lineup was... That's an interesting formation, 4-1-3-2. That's interesting, that. Yeah, I could see him getting in that side. I could see him getting in that side over Gittins. And Donny Malin. Yeah, Donny Malin is who they sold to Aston Villa. Jamie Gittins he came on for. That's a straight swap. Gittins came off for Donny Malin at left on the left midfield, and left midfield is where Marcus plays. I can't help but think that Dortmund is the place for Marcus to go, and I think he would thrive there. And it's much more open, the German style of football, much more expansive. That would suit his athleticism as well. And if Jadon Sancho can do well there, then Marcus Rashford can as well. And I think Marcus Rashford is a better player than Jadon Sancho, both on their day. So I don't see why that won't happen. But we'll see how it works out. Anyway, but what do you think of the move for Marcus moving forward? Would AC Milan be a good club for him? I mean, I could be wrong. And also, what did you think of Manchester United's performance against the Arsenal? I mean, the effort was there, and when a team like Manchester United puts the effort in, then it's game over at the end of the day. And it was brilliant to see Joshua Zirkzee get the winning penalty as well. I mean, I really want to see that guy do well, and I think he's done enough to show that there's something there. I'm not saying he's going to be a world beater, but he's certainly not as bad as what's been made out over the past sort of couple of weeks, so to speak. But anyway, what do you guys think? If you've made it this far in my video, you're clearly interested in what I've got to say. So if that's the case, I am more than happy to read and to comment on what you've got to say. I read all of the comments. Anyway, catch you in the next one.